What's going on, MuvMinterz? Welcome to episode 188 of Movement Monday. I'm Christal Clear, and let's go ahead and start off with a prayer. My dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day, Lord. I thank you for once again having another week where people could come and see another episode of Movement Monday. Lord, I ask that whatever I say, you will help me say the right words to help people to get through the course of their week. Help everybody, save souls everywhere, and I ask that you would just be with them through every situation and every struggle that they're facing. And I give you all the honor, glory, and praise in Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so this week of Movement Monday, I'm going to give you a hard reality of a message, okay? This is stemming from sibling rivalry that happened between my two sons over the weekend. They was arguing over something. And my son, my youngest son, I love him so much, but a lot of times when he gets upset, he really wears his heart on his sleeve. So he's like, when he's upset, you could tell he's upset. He's passionately upset. And my oldest son, shout out to my oldest son, Sammy, he came up to him and he went up to him. He was like, dude, nobody cares. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's kind of funny because it's like, people care, but at the same time, the extent of somebody, you know, like how he was reacting to a situation, he was like really. It got to the point that the amount of things that he was invested in and being upset was not worth the time or the effort of people to have to address that to him. So anyway, so my son told him, he was like, dude, nobody cares, dude. Like, you got to get over it. And of course, him and my son went back and forth. But however, my son said the funniest thing to him. And he said to him, he said, I'm going to tell you what our dad said to us. He said, regardless of how people feel about you, let's just say if you're some type of person, you can either be a person that everybody get along with or somebody that people don't like. And usually, like for instance, if I'm a person that everybody get along with and somebody doesn't like me, he said, okay, maybe you could say it's them. However, if a lot of people say the same thing about you and it's in the negative feedback about yourself, sometimes you have to sit and wonder, maybe people are saying that about me because it's something that I'm doing. So he's like, maybe it's you. After a while, people are saying the same thing. Maybe it's you. And that's the type of discussion I wanted to talk about today. Even though the situation was really not that serious. And, you know, my son, like I say, always blows it out of proportion. And even though my oldest son had to correct him and make him understand that maybe it's you that's making the situation blow out of proportion. I'm going to put it in the context of you and your dreams. The people who don't follow their dreams. The people who try to make an excuse for why things don't happen that the way that they want it to. Have you ever sit back and think about all the opportunities that you have in life that you could have had from youth on up? Like for instance, I could have been a baseball player. But unfortunately, the situations of life and the choices I've made, it was not meant to be a baseball player. And it's kind of sad because I realized I wasn't that bad at it when I was playing with my son. But however, I digress. Have you ever had an opportunity in life where you could have been achieving something really great, but you didn't take it because something in your past or something that was in your way stumbled you from making that choice to reach for your goal? Many times I used to have people tell me, oh, I could have done this, but my parents were so bad to me. I had a bad childhood. You know, I had this happen to me, so I couldn't do it. And I get it too, because there were some situations when I was a child, I could not get my head wrapped up around my dreams to the point that I had to think about surviving more than my dreams. So I get it. We all go through things in the past that would make us stumble and fall and hinder us from reaching our full potential in our dreams. However, after over time, You must stop and wonder, but what's that stopping me now that I'm older? You get what I'm saying? So after a while, you have to stop blaming the situations of your past. You have to stop blaming everybody else for trying to hinder your dream. Maybe sometimes you might have to reach that epiphany that maybe the reason why I'm not where I am today is because of me. And I've done that. I could have been a baseball player. I could have been an artist, because I do have a BFA in illustration. Shout out to the peoples at Savannah College of Art and Design. I could have been this, I could have been that. I could have been a musician years ago. But whose fault that was? Was it your fault? The audience? If I told you it was your fault the reason why I didn't become what I wanted to be, how would you feel about that? You would look at me like I'm crazy. Because you just met me today, some of y'all who's watching this film. So if I told you, hey listener, it's your fault that I didn't become that artist when I was in my 20s. It's your fault that I didn't become that baseball player. You would look at me like I'm crazy. Sometimes people say these things in life to try to make an excuse for the reason why they faltered in reaching their dreams. The reason why I did not become an artist, the reason why I did not become a baseball player, the reason why I did not become a musician in my 20s is because of me. I was the reason why I didn't reach my goal. But see, here's the beauty part about it. Even though I wasn't able to be the ball player, even though I wasn't the artist that, people thought I was going to be. And I was a very good artist, trust me, I could draw my butt off. But at the same time, you have time, as long as you are on this earth, you have time to become something that you always wanted to be. I think about a year ago, I spoke about a lady who became an actress in a very old age. Not at the peak of her, life, like in the 20s and in the 30s, but she became an actress at a very old age. And you know what? She became a wonderful actress. Like, I love seeing her every time I see her on TV. But you know what? She had time. She got a hold of herself. I don't know what situations caused her to not, be an actress earlier, but she got hold of herself and she became what she became. And she followed her dream even at an old age. It is not impossible for you to continue to dream and become something greater than you think that you could be. Stop blaming other people for your screw-ups. And maybe look at yourself and go, maybe it's me. Get your behind up off your chair, off the bed, off the couch, and start the journey of your life that's going to bear fruit for your future children and generations to come. I always talk about we are Christians, we're supposed to be setting the example for the people in the world to be the light of the world. And sometimes, people aren't Christians and people follow different religions, so people don't believe in God at all. That is true. But at the same time, the principle of life is still the same concept. People will look up to you more when you decide to get up off your behind, stop making excuses, and follow your dreams. Because when people see you doing the steps, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because me being at 42 trying to have a career in music, it is not easy. But at the same time, you can see the fruits of your labors when people who didn't pay attention to you before, all of a sudden started looking at you and go, wow. And then it might inspire them to start the process of following their own dream. So So regardless of what faith you follow in, you are the light of the world for many generations to look at you and admire you and are willing to go for your dreams. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming your mama, your daddy, and realize that maybe it's you. Do it, man. And get up and go out there and get your dream. Don't worry about how old you are, because age ain't nothing but a number. And people will remember what you did for the rest of their lives. So that's my advice for this week. Okay, so I'm going to give you some updates. So let's start with my health. Recently, I went to the doctors and they said that my ears is getting better. However, I was eligible for surgery to try to get the fluid that's behind my eardrums. I decided not to do it because there was a slight possibility that I could have some hearing loss if the procedure didn't go as 100% right as it should. So, and plus I wanted to make sure that I still have the opportunity to try to push for this album to come out on October 20th. It's been kind of strenuous lately because some days my ear, it makes everything distorted, so I have to take a break. So it's kind of slowing me up on the process. But at the same time, I do notice a significant change to how my ears have been, or my left ear has been over the few weeks. So I decided to turn down the surgery and see if to give it another 6 weeks to see if how the ear is going to hold up. So I wanted to let everybody know that I'm doing better with my health, and I thank everybody that's been praying on me for that as well. So to continue to pray for me as I continue to nurse myself back to health. I'm trying real hard to get everything situated where this album can still come out, which is basic instructions before leaving Earth, for October 20th. I will let you know after this next procedure, our next scheduled appointment, to see how my ears are and to determine if I have to push the project back maybe a few weeks. But just to let you know that right now I'm still confident that this album will be done by October 20th. But like I said, anything can happen. You see what happened to my brother last year with the car accident. Sometimes life just puts you on hold for a while. And it's kind of funny too, because just like I talked about, stop making excuses for why you ain't reaching your goal. Even though it can hold you for a while, but my brother was still able to accomplish his task, which was get his album out. So just continue to pray for me as I continue to work on my album. I believe I got over 11 songs. I fixed the audio of 11 songs so far, close to maybe 12. I can't remember offhand, but I'm pushing along. So even with the one ear, I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do to try to get this out to you. So yeah, some basic instructions before leaving Earth is still coming out, as far as I know, on October 20th. My brother's album, Fade to Black Face in Life, that's been out for a while, since February 27th. Blessings to everybody that's been listening to that album. I think that album is very phenomenal. All the work that he put onto it, even though he was put on hold again from the car accident. Everything has been wonderful. The fruits of the labor has been wonderful from that album. I have some stuff on I wanted to tell you about as I grab my phone right here. And there's like a Fade to Black Face in Life bundle that my sister-in-law Passion had mentioned on the last episode of Movement Monday. The Fade to Black Face in Life bundle, you can get a physical CD for $25. With that, you get 3 things. If you buy a physical CD, which is $25, you can get a signed poster from my brother. You can get access to unreleased playlists on YouTube, and then you can also get links to download songs and instrumentals off of website at www.SalvWreck.com, SalvWreck.com. I have the big bundle. I forget what kind of package it's called. You can just look it up on SalvWreck.com to see what kind of packages that you desire to have. But I tell you what, if you can also buy the digital album for about $20. But also, if there's an instrumental, if you just don't like want to listen to the words, you can also, he has the instrumentals to every song from his Fade to Black Face in Life album. So you can buy that. If you buy both the digital and the ones with the vocals on it, it's a $30 bundle, so you don't have to pay $20 for this and $20 for that. He put it together where you can buy both for $30. So check that out. Also check out our SalvWreck store. There's new merchandise that came up. Shout out to everybody from the Longside Parade again. All the new stuff that we had up there. We actually did better this year than last year as far as selling merchandise at the Longside Day Parade. So shout out to everybody that participated. Shout out to everybody that bought our product. We love y'all. Thank y'all for your support. There's also new merchandise out there. I will try to see if I can put the link up or the picture up. My sister-in-law has new breast cancer shirts. I was looking at that earlier this week. We got a lot of neat stuff. Tumblers, we got bookmarks, we got also all kinds of stuff like coasters and stuff like that. We got so much merchandise online, so check that out at SalvWreck.com. So we pushing along on the Christmas album at SalvWreck Christmas Volume 7 that's coming out in December of this year. So we got a lot of stuff coming out, and I believe he was saying 13 songs this time. Don't hold me to that, but I believe he said that in the last episode. There was like 13 songs coming out this year. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, so this Wednesday we have another episode of MuvMinterz Storytime. I have two topic conversation. On that episode, I'm finishing the topic of what we was discussing in episode 32 about a strong relationship. And then my wife had a generational question, which was kind of interesting because it was a hard question to answer, but at the same time, it shows you the difference between my generation, which I was born in 1981, compared to the generation of today and how people raise their kids and how people view how, like, the generations between the older and the new, how it differs, you know. So be on the lookout for that on Wednesday. That's an interesting topic that my wife threw at me. So, and I enjoyed that conversation. Plus, she was more engaging on that conversation too, because she definitely had a lot to say due to her job that she deals with a lot of kids with disabilities and social issues too. So, okay, so that's it for today's episode of Movement Monday. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it gave you some kind of awakening about what you got to do with life. And I hope you just, realize that maybe it's me that's just holding me back and not everybody else. Like I said, after a while, if one person says something negative about you, got it. It might be just somebody hating. But after a while, if a lot of people say the same thing, maybe you need to just wake up and say it's just me. So get out there, realize if that's the situation, start the thought process of changing everything and change it down and stop blaming everybody else but yourself and just start getting it done. You'll be surprised where you end up. So with that, stay tuned, stay alert, and always remember, you are the movement. And go out there and do what you're supposed to do with life. Believe me, not only you will appreciate it, but your kids and future generations will appreciate it as well. Start your blessings rolling. Get going, all right? Peace. Take care.